Welcome back from the break, Ram fans, and to our second ever edition of Out of Pocket, where we discuss a controversial take within the world of sports before shifting our focus to some game picks for some matchups throughout the week. We'll pick CSU's game this Friday against San Diego State, but first, let's get on to our point of debate. So obviously, the NFL has seen 2 overtime matchups throughout this postseason thus far. And with the single flip of a coin deciding who can end things with a touchdown without the other team even touching the ball. See Josh Allen and the Bills about a week ago. I feel like it's not out of pocket to say that the league's overtime rules should be changed, especially when it comes to these winner-go-home games. What do you guys think about that?
No, I completely agree. No matter if they take college rules and implement that into the NFL or just switch it up completely, in this offseason, they need to change it. Cam, what do you think?
For me, I've never understood it, right? It makes the most sense. The team that gets the ball first, they have the opportunity to go down, score a field goal or a touchdown. They score a touchdown, the other team has to score a touchdown to keep the game going. If they score a field goal, the other team should be able to score a field goal to keep the game going or score a touchdown to win the game. That is what makes the most sense to me. And I'm obviously flabbergasted, we're even at this point, that it's still the rules.
I know. I personally agree with you. I mean, I remember a couple years ago when they changed it to where if you kick a field goal, you have to the other team at least gets a chance, which that was a step in the right direction, but it's still not where it needs to be. I mean, you know, there are those occasions like there were yesterday with the Bengals, you know. I feel like as Coloradans and Denver fans, we can appreciate the Chiefs losing. And for the sake of anybody having to see a Jackson Mahomes TikTok ever again, and Wyoming, we don't like Jackson Mahomes. But that's something for another time. But
We'll get into that later.
No, I mean, every team can have a bad day. You know, you say, oh, well, one team just outplayed the other one in overtime. But with the NFL rules, sometimes that's just not possible. Exactly. Sometimes you go into overtime, tie game, both teams played incredible in regular contention, and then you go into overtime, and one of them doesn't even get a chance, and then the game can just end.
Yeah, exactly. In every other sport, it's not like this, and so it needs to change in football. And okay, we've talked that point to death. And now we're moving on to our pick'ems matches. So, yeah. Anyway, let's keep it going. Tonight we're choosing the matchup between CSU and SDSU, which I would say has now kind of become a little bit of a rivalry. And what do you guys think?
I know you guys aren't going to like this one, but I saw that game earlier in the season, and I know we had a big break due to COVID issues before we were going into that game, but I just don't see CSU taking this one against San Diego State. I really just don't. I think, Cam, you said it earlier in the show, SDSU has proven to be a kryptonite for CSU. You know, we beat them last season with a buzzer beater shot, I believe, at the very last second, and then we lost, 30-something points to them a couple weeks ago? I just don't see. Obviously, it will depend on how this game plays out against Wyoming, determining the momentum going into Friday's game, but I just don't see it happening.
I understand your point, but I will say, as CSU, after the last game, looks to be maybe going on a downward spiral, but as of right now in Wyoming, it's looking okay. But SDSU is also going on a downward spiral. I don't know if you've paid attention, but they lost to Boise State after not playing for a while, after that whole CSU thing. CSU had a similar thing when they played them. And they lost to Boise State, and they only scored 38 points in that game. That's really not. Yeah. And then they also just lost a close one to Utah State.
For me, look, CSU has all the motivation in the world, to win this game, right? You got to be upset if you are CSU, and it's because the last time you played San Diego State, they absolutely routed you, and not only did they rout you, they took you out of the eye of the national public because that was their first loss of the season, and at that point, there were only 2 other teams that were undefeated. I do not want to play against an angry David Roddy. My pick is CSU. I think they're going to show what they should have done the first time here.
I agree. I agree with Cam. I think they're going to pull it out. I think especially after the last home game too, they're going to be mad. And that's what we need.
I'll be the underdog picker.
And well, with that, that's all we have for you tonight, Rams. We'll see if our picks hold up, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching, and have a wonderful night.